All right, welcome back to our show. Woo!
Yeah.
It's
Nice
been
rip,
another
by the
week.
way. That was very clean sounding.
Thank you. I tried to make it as nice and audible as possible for the show.
Just shoving your microphone inside the bong there.
It's a waterproof mic that I shoved down the downstem.
Nice.
Excuse
All
me.
right.
So it's been
So,
a week. It's been a week
yeah.
since we did our last show, man, which was pretty good. Little
Yeah, I
verbal
mean,
diarrhea.
yeah. Yeah, I had verbal diarrhea that episode. That was horrible. I swear I was drugged. I swear to
Something was
God.
up, or you're having a mini stroke. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't know. But hopefully I'm better. If not, then I'm going to be seeing my local physician here. Um,
Pretty soon.
yeah. But look, we made it 2 episodes in a row.
There we go.
Improvement
Yeah.
for us.
Consistency. Hooray for consistency.
Right? Oh my god. So,
So,
what have you been doing the last few weeks? What have you been playing?
well, much like our last show, I caved in and I bought the I bought the first DLC mission for Mankind Divided for Deus Ex. I bought the
Oh, after
system.
your beautiful little rant, you
I even
caved. You
no, I even said at the rant, like even with the microtransactions and the DLC and the missions coming out, I much as I am against it, I am gonna end up buying it. Like I even said it, I am gonna buy it. Like
All right, I'll forgive you this time.
I will cave
Just
in and buy
this one time
because
though.
I am a fan. But
Uh-huh.
I did buy it. It was only $11.99, so they proved me wrong. So $11.99 for the add-on wasn't bad, but I keep hearing that I don't buy the season pass because what I covered last time, if you buy the Praxis kits in game, you can only use them once per save. But then I found out two of the DLC packs, which are like some guns and stuff you can get,
Mm-hmm.
you can only use them once per save, is what I found out. So you'd have to
What?
rebuy. Yeah, you have to rebuy the DLC to get those guns again if you wanted to start a new game. I think that's
Well,
how it's
screw
working.
that. I
No, exactly. So I was just like, I'll just buy the
Ew.
missions as they come out. They're only $12. So
Man.
I bought the mission and I haven't completed it because I was just, I was a little fed up with it at the time. But I jumped back into Stardew Valley because they had a massive update this week.
Yeah, I remember I read that to you. I haven't gotten
Yeah.
back into it, but I was pretty excited. It was nice. It was a really good little game, little Harvest Moon. I refuse to call it
Yeah,
Stardew Valley, but
it is the creator even came out and said it was a Harvest Moon clone. Like I made this game as a practice,
yeah,
to
because
see.
he was learning to code.
Yeah, he was learning to code, so he pretty much copied his favorite game, which is Harvest Moon,
Yeah.
and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
Oh,
the
I
shit
love
out
that
of the
game.
game.
It was really nice, little chill, laid back game that you can sit back,
Very
put a
comfy.
show, not really focus too much.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Throw something onto the second monitor and just let it go, man.
Fish until you pass out, and what do you call it? Get your penis touched?
I get. So in the game, if you don't make it back to your farm in time, you pass out, and you live in a tiny town. So one of these people that brings you back to your house, and they leave you a note, and sometimes you get shit stolen from you. And the way I put it is, they find you and they just, they feel your wiener and they put you back into bed. A lot of wiener fondling in the game, and some money
I
being.
highly doubt that there's actual wiener fondling, but whatever floats your boat, man. All
But
right.
more seriously, the things they added to the game are really fun. So now you can color code things. You can move buildings by visiting the carpenter around your land. There's about 2 or 3 different new farms you can get. So like there's a hilltop farm that specializes in like wild harvests like radishes and shit. The little things you find around the map. Another map focuses on mining and rocks and all that. So it's got respawning rocks and ore and other shit. And then another one is fishing. So there's a bunch of islands in the middle of the water, and it's a fishing farm. And then the last one is the same as the normal farm, except at night you have monsters coming in, so you can farm monster drops. Pretty fun.
Pretty
I
fun.
like the game a lot.
I've been bouncing around a lot. Been playing RimWorld, which is a
Oh
fun
yeah,
little game.
RimWorld. That was supposed to be like Dwarf Castle or whatever that game was called, or Dwarf Fortress. There we go, Dwarf Fortress. How is it?
It's fun. It's fun. It's to me, it's a lot like Banished. You have different little
Okay.
scenarios, I guess you play out. They call them like stories. So the one I'm playing is you start off with 3 survivors and you have to build a little society. You were in some spaceship and it crashed onto this rim world. And so you have to start off with the materials that you salvage from the ship, and you have to build a little base. You build farms, I mean, there's really so much to it. There's raiders that come in every so often, but the main thing is, keeping everybody happy, because each character has its own special trait, and they like certain things, they dislike, they become really unhappy, mentally unstable, just a whole bunch of different things. It's well worth $19 or whatever I spent on.
It's a $30 game actually.
Oh, it is.
So are you getting your $30 worth out of it?
I'd say so. I also just bought about 2 hours before recording this the new World of Warcraft, like I said I was going to.
That's right, you went back to World of Warcraft, didn't you?
Yep, just started. I haven't gotten anywhere near the new stuff yet, so nothing to report there. Right now it's just World of Warcraft.
Oh, I did not see this about RimWorld. And we're going to get into this later on in the game. Now, yes. I'm going to say this is, there are exceptions to what we're going to be covering later on. So this game, I guess, would be one of the exceptions in your eyes. It's an early access game.
Yeah, we'll get into there. I want to hold that off because there's a couple things, but we're going to get there. This isn't going to be a happy episode. So if you were expecting, happy, joy, you're in for disappointment. We're going to be very angry this episode.
There's going to be a mound of salt.
Yes, there is salt galore. So
yeah, be ready. There's going to be we started the show upbeat, but there's a giant pile of salt just around the corner, man.
It's going downhill. Get water. You're going to be dehydrated from the amount of salt from there. So let's start off. Remember how we used to ask different questions at the intro every week? Remember how we used to do that? So getting back into that. I'm really into TV shows. I know you have a few, but it's getting around that time of year where the seasons starting back up.
Yeah, new shows, new seasons. Hell
so
yeah.
What are you looking forward to getting back?
This fall, this also winter, I am looking forward to the new season of Rick and Morty. That's gonna be fucking amazing.
When's that come out, dude? Because I'm dying.
I've not seen an official date, but apparently it's supposed to start tomorrow, October 2nd. But that might be but I think that's a lie. I don't know.
Fuckers toying with my emotions.
I think it would be a lot bigger announcement if it was tomorrow. Anyways, so Rick and Morty, I'm looking forward to. We know that's gonna be badass. The new season of South Park has started, so that's been fucking amazing so far.
I haven't seen the newest episode, but the first 2 fucking fantastic.
Nailed it, like they knocked it out of the park. God. And the most recent one was fucking great too. So I don't want to spoil anything for you, so we won't go over it. And I'm looking forward to One Punch Man season 2. So
I haven't watched that at all. I've seen like previews of it, I guess. 2 episodes.
It's very good. I know you like dub, right?
Yeah.
You like dub, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I've heard the dub's all right. I've been watching it sub because I just jumped onto it, but it's a very good satirical anime. I recommend it.
All right, yeah. Well, I mean, I of course am looking forward to The Walking Dead starting up.
Yeah, the first episode, man. I can't wait
to see where they take that, because there's so many different directions. They can follow the comic and break a lot of fans' heart, or they can go off, and I think in this case, if they went off, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I know a lot of people who want to stay true to the comics would be a little butthurt, but at this point, I think the show has established its own identity outside of the comic.
The show is definitely taking place in its own universe.
Yeah, and I think it would be okay.
Yeah, so but I've narrowed it for myself. I've narrowed it down to 3 people, like 3 decisions they can go, and they can totally throw a wild card if they wanted to. And if they did, I'd still, that'd still be pretty cool. But I've narrowed it down to 3 people. They're either going to go for the big, shocker and lose a lot of fans, but grab a lot of people at the same time and kill off Daryl.
I will stop watching that show.
I will
quit that motherfucking show if Daryl goes.
Are you one of those,
dude, I'm a Daryl fan girl. He makes my panties wet. No lie. I see him, I'm just like, oh.
I wouldn't stop reading the comic if they killed off Rick. and Rick is the main character in
Yeah,
the
but
comic.
Rick's kind of a dickhole. Of course, in the comic, everybody's a
Everybody's
giant bag of dick.
in your opinion, in the comic,
No. That is
a giant
just
dickhole.
Dude, if you read that
Oh,
as
no,
a human being, you
the
can't sit there
comic.
and read that
I
and
need to
think they're
catch
not a
up on
bunch of
it,
dicks.
actually.
Oh god.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of dickholes in the comic. Anyways, so they're gonna go for the big shocker and kill Daryl. They'll follow the comic and kill Glenn, and or if they want to play it safe and like, be like, oh, he seemed like he would have been cool, but fuck it, he's dead. There's that new dude who's in
the
that
new Daryl, the kind of like he's like Daryl, but yeah.
No, I don't know if we're thinking of the same one.
It's what's his name?
He's got dark hair. I think he's one of the gay characters in the group.
Oh no, we're thinking of a different dude.
Yeah, we're thinking of two different people.
I think I'm thinking of the guy that just joined.
Joined.
Oscar or something. I can't remember his name, honestly. You know who the rumors I heard were they're gonna kill off?
They might, now that I'm thinking about it, they might even just take out Abraham. Like that's another one because Abraham dies in the comic too. He gets shot in the eye with an arrow.
You know who they might. Actually, the rumor I heard is that they're killing off Maggie.
Who?
Maggie.
Yeah,
that was the rumor I heard.
He's gonna kill the pregnant girl.
That would be dark.
And she's all sick and shit.
Yeah.
That would be fucking dark.
Yeah.
That would be fucking wow, man. I would pick up watching the show pretty religiously if they did that.
All right.
Oh, you know what else? Game of Thrones, man.
That's for a long ass time.
I know, but it's not until January. Oh no, that's right. They pushed it to April or May.
Way into the year, dude.
Damn.
You know what I'm looking forward to? You know what?
What?
They are restarting not restarting, but picking up on the Gilmore Girls story on Netflix.
Ugh.
Don't you
Yuck.
me, you son of a bitch.
Yuck.
Yuck. Oh, that's I might even call it a guilty pleasure because I don't feel guilty about liking that show.
You know what? I actually, my friend Steven up in Seattle, Washington, likes the Gilmore Girls also, and he's like one of the coolest cats I know. So I'm not gonna judge you. Whatever, you enjoy your show. I'd heard rumor that they're gonna restart Firefly.
I'll believe it when it happens.
I'll believe it when I hear an official announcement. Cause
I'll believe it when I'm sitting down watching the new episode.
Yeah, don't toy with my emotions that way.
Yeah. On the flip side, what shows just need to really fucking end already? That's just gone on.
There's a lot that need to die already.
Every soap opera, in my opinion.
Every soap opera. Oh, I'm just gonna name a bunch of cartoons because I've been watching cartoons forever. At the top of my list, Scooby-Doo franchise just needs to be put to rest. They got to drag him out back and just Old Yeller him. Fucking dude, have you seen the newest?
Yeah, my son really likes the new one. Actually,
are you serious? It's such a fucking hokey.
They have the Family Guy style art. It's fucking wonky.
It's very off-putting, and I don't like it. And I don't like that. The Family Guy is another one. Like that guy that has to stop if it hasn't already.
It hasn't. It's still going.
It's still going.
It's because Seth MacFarlane's not as involved. I heard in the writing of it. So,
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna go out and bash Seth MacFarlane. He's done well for himself. He's done very well for himself. I'm just like, dude, any good artist knows when to put it to rest. Like you've done well with your Ted movies. Like that's where you should be going. Move on.
Yeah.
Like you gotta develop yourself some more.
I don't know, man.
That. The Simpsons has to end, dude. I'm sorry. Like, Matt Groening needs to put that to rest. Like, even Futurama died, came back, died again, then came back, and then finally died. And The Simpsons is still going.
But the Futurama ended perfectly. I
loved their finale. It was great.
It was so good.
Like, have you actually seen an episode of The Simpsons recently? It's very, like, I have no idea what that show is.
Honestly, no, I haven't seen a good episode. I haven't seen an episode of The Simpsons in shit. I don't know how many years. It's been a while though.
It's different. I'm not gonna lie. Like the plot, the way things are done, the way jokes are thrown out. I just it's a totally different show, and it's not fun. It's not fun. I don't find it funny anymore. It's just too old, you know. Isn't it 20 years old? Right?
It's well over 20 years
It's like
old,
26 years old. It just started what, back in 1989? When
yeah,
I was
it's an old ass show, dude.
It's as old as we are.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
27.
it's time. It's time.
It's time to go to bed, dude. Like, just go to bed.
All right, it's time to get into our first segment today.
Oh yes. Okay, so
I got this. I've been thinking.
you know,
There was
a time when this topic I would have defended tooth and nail, but I'm at a point. Like, I was so starry-eyed when it came out, but here, I'll let you pull it in. What are we talking about?
So, we came to this conclusion, and this was actually the last addition to the show, and we talked about it in episode 6 of the podcast, and it's early access, and
I think we had a more positive outlook back then, or at least I know I did.
Yeah. I don't know what I said, but here's what I got to say to this.
I don't like listening to myself, so I have no idea what I said.
Yeah. Fuck early access games.
Yeah.
Fuck them right in their ear holes. I am so fucking done of early access games. I'm just done. I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. Not all have been bad. There have been successes.
Yeah.
But as a whole, as an idea, put it back to rest. It was a great novelty, but I'm tired of paying my money to be your fucking game tester. I'm done. It's just it's so frustrating. Getting
really
these games and then waiting years, literally years for it to come out, and it still doesn't. It's still shit, and I'm just so.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's fucking horrible. I've got a couple games on the top of my head that I can pull out, and I'll go a little bit into both of them and how disappointing they fucking are. Okay, yeah, we talked about RimWorld earlier, and it is an early access game, but again, there are exceptions to these. But most of the time, early access games are a ton of shit, a disappointing, stinking, decrepit, like horrible, depressing shit. And one game that actually, and I love the game a lot because me and Bags will play it for hours, but I just have a bad taste in my mouth because of its predecessor. So Ark is still an early access game, right? Before Ark, there was a game that came out that was kind of like a proto-Ark. It was called The Savage Land.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, man, did they dick $25 out of a lot of people in that game? They dicked 50 out of me because I bought the game and I bought a gift copy of the game for somebody. And it was just like, okay, it had potential. And you know what? It played a lot like Ark. And story is, a few of the developers from that game jumped ship like the drowning rats they were and went off to go and make Ark. And, leaving Savage Land there to just, die and fester. And fucking, they had to pull it off the Steam market because it was a disappointment and a fucking failure. I didn't get my $24 back. They should have reimbursed anybody who bought that game their money. So yeah, fuck early access games. Another one is DayZ. It may be playable now, but it's like way too fucking late, pal. Like, wow, what the fuck were you expecting? You gave hopes of this amazing zombie simulator survival game that was based off the Arma engine, which the Arma engine in itself is fucked. As beautiful as it is. It's beautiful.
It's not even beautiful. It's just really cool, like the stuff you can do with it. But in terms of beauty, it's kind of a ugly ass system in my opinion.
As well as it works though, as well as you can make the game look and all the cool shit you can do with it, it's still a broke ass game. And DayZ even more so because they went and tried to rebuild the game and they didn't just take, the standalone DayZ mod from Arma and use that. No, they tried to make their own game and it was horrible, disappointing, and then they tried to fix it but broke it, then broke it even further and then added useless shit before fixing anything, and then finally fixed something 4 years later after the game's been early access for like 4 or 5 years now, and we're still waiting for a thing. We're still waiting.
We can go in all day on all the types of games, all the different games that we've played. I mean, think of Reign of Kings. That game's gone nowhere. I mean, I could pull.
When was the last time you ever saw news on that fucking game?
I don't know, dude. As far as I can tell, I could pull up my freaking Steam library and read off a list of just shitty games that I've paid money for, and it's frustrating.
Oh,
it's cool because I want to see these little developers. I want to see them come around and make good games because I think there's a lot of people out there who are badass game designers, and it's just hard to make the game you want without having the capital to begin with. On the
yeah.
flip side, and what's happening too much in my opinion is they're getting this money and they're not delivering on the promises.
They get lazy.
They promise the world. They promise so much, and then they get the money and they're just kind of like, well, meh, I got my money. Well, I mean, and it's just a human nature kind of thing. I mean, I can't say that I wouldn't do the same thing because it probably would because I'm an asshole, but
But
I'm not doing that.
That's the flaw with early access.
Yeah, and I understand it if it says, this isn't a complete game, but I'm paying the money. Like, show me progress. At least with games like Ark,
the money of
there's
a
been progress.
full game, might I add.
Yeah, with Ark, what I've done with Ark and what I see coming out, their promises, their due date. Now they've pushed it off. It was supposed to be fully released back in July. They pushed it off to November, I think now, and they have the new DLC, which a lot of people are pissed about because they're charging whatever. I can get over that, but at least
they're making progress,
Yeah,
and it's significant progress too. So they'll add a few dinosaurs, they'll add a few bugs, they'll add a few things, a few items to craft. So it's decent, They even added that huge ass map that everyone can play on now.
Yeah, and 7 Days to Die is another one that's done it. That's actually, I think, is full release now, and that game it came a long way. But those are just a few success stories. As a whole, they don't turn out that way. They just don't.
They don't. They usually just.
I mean,
They're
I don't know,
premature and they die as such.
Yeah. It's just so goddamn frustrating. It's ruining Steam for me, to be honest. When I go through Steam list right now, I can flip to the store page, and 90% at least of the Steam games are early access games that are overpriced. If you're going to be an early access game, maybe knock it down. If you knocked your total down to like $5, maybe I could get over it.
Yeah.
But you're charging $24, $30. I mean, the prices are going up on these early access games, and it's just fucking ridiculous to me. I don't want to pay $30 for an incomplete game that I have zero guarantee is ever going to be
done, right?
Yeah, I have no promise.
They hold no obligation to finish those games for us. There's no real consequence for them doing this. Like I barely, other than what I'm going to talk about in my segment, I've never really heard of a game company being, come down upon because of not finishing a game or false advertising. Again, other than the one I'm about to pull up right now in my segment.
What
hypocrisy on the show today.
To me, what the early access games, it's the same thing as walking outside, seeing a guy out on the street, and he's like, "Hey, dude, I'll go buy groceries for you. Just give me the money." You give him $25. You don't know the guy. You don't know. There's no guarantee he's actually going to come back and give you what you paid for. That's what it is to me. I'm giving these strangers money for an empty promise.
Exactly.
It's just so goddamn frustrating. And I really want my video games back. I want my country back, all right? I want
where my country gone?
I miss it. I mean, call me old-fashioned, but I miss paying for a complete game. I don't mind, now that I'm older, and I guess it's because we have money now, I don't mind going out paying the $59.99 for a game that's whole, works, and gives me what's advertised. I don't know.
But even the games that are $59.99 whole and complete aren't actually complete anymore because there's DLC missions to continue the story.
I don't know, man.
Which, you know what? Yeah, speaking of completed games, completed games, this is a good time to just bring up this. Like, when was there really a good game?
Last time
honestly, like, when was the last time there was a game that's gonna be like, this game is gonna be talked about 10 years from now, like fucking, like Zelda.
Yeah,
or Mega Man or fucking Metroid or any of those old classic games that people love to replay over and over. Pac-Man, even Galaga, Centipede, Space Invaders. As primitive and old as they are, people replay them. Super Mario World is one of them, but fucking holy shit, when was the last time there's gonna be another game like that? And I'm just like, I'm trying to think.
it's not. See, that's it's a perfect segue, I guess. But what happened to games? What's up with them? I can think back on my childhood, growing up, and think of these key pivotal games that are fucking like milestones to me, like Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy VII. I can think of Super Mario Brothers. I think of these games that
Mario
like
64 was
Mario
another one.
64. I mean,
Hell,
I remember
even something as recent as like the first Halo game, the first Deus Ex game, Half-Life 1, you know.
exactly. I mean, these are games that when you ask, classic, all time, you think back and you're like, yes, this game. And I don't get that these days. I just don't.
Yeah.
It's kind of depressing. I mean, there's good games. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Skyrim, Fallout, they're good. But
well, one game that I think that will be one that's going to go down that way. I think Dark Souls will go down that way. It's a fun and replayable game.
Stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Like I mean, these games like Final Fantasy VII, for example. This is a game that came out. I can't remember when, but it was back on PS1, and people still talk about it. They talked about it so much for so long that they're
remaking it for PS4.
They're remaking this game. And there's just nothing like that now. There's games they'll come out, they'll be hyped out, they'll be great, and then within 6 months, you're like, oh yeah, there was that game. I forgot. Fallout 4, perfect example. That game was hyped up. It was really good.
It was. I even bought the season pass, and I've been playing it recently. Far Harbor is really cool. I'm gonna say that right now.
I mean, I'm sure it is, but it's just. I mean, it fell off. This game just I don't walk out and hear people talking about it anymore. I can't sit there in a conversation and hear someone talk about it. And
now I can say I do, but that's because I go to conventions and shit where the fan base of these games is concentrated. So no, yeah, I can't honestly say I go out in public, but that's because I don't live. I don't know. Yeah, no, I mean, at least where I live, amongst my friends, amongst the people I socialize with on a normal basis. Fallout, yeah, not really a lot of games being talked about in the regular, not even Fallout 4, and it just came out.
And I wonder if it's because that games have
people talk more
worse.
about Fallout 3 than Fallout 4.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if it's just games have gotten worse over the years, or if they just that the standards they've all gotten so good that there's not one that can separate itself, that they've developed so well that they just can't you can't or if we're just getting old and we're cynical and we just we just don't like anything anymore. We're just coming one of those old cranky people
and curmudgeon like
we just talk about back in my day we had real video games.
Waldorf and Stanley, is that their names in the Muppet Show?
Yeah, those two old.
Remember the last time there was a good game? Nope, they're all bad.
I personally think that developers have raised the bar graphically. Every game or not every game, but a wide majority of gold games come out now are fucking gorgeous. They're pretty. Story-wise, though, I think a lot of the games have gone down. I think the story is being tossed aside for these pretty actiony, just like button smashing games. I'm not compelled. I mean, I love games that have a good story, and they're just not as good as they used to be. To be honest, I mean, can you think of a game recently that has a good story? That just like a really a good story that draws you in, makes you want to play?
Yeah. Well, Fallout 4, but that wasn't as recent as Fallout 4.
There's Fallout 4.
But I'm trying to think of another one. I mean, Dark Souls 3, but Dark Souls 3 came out. That was not as recent as we think.
It's been a while, but even then, Dark Souls 3's I never really
You,
got
you
into the
got you got to
story.
piece that. You got to piece that. Yeah, that's another one. That's something you got to piece it together yourself and chat amongst other other players with.
Dark
But
Souls does what
that's a
few
yeah.
games do
But
today,
I mean,
and it
no, I can't really think of a game that sucked me in other than Fallout 4. But that's because I'm a huge Fallout fan.
see
But
I thought it was, but Fallout 4's story didn't compel me. Like it just didn't suck me in. It didn't do it.
the
I
main
don't know why.
story didn't. I'll tell you that. What I really enjoyed about Fallout 4, what made the game for me, were just the characters and the side stuff and this everything but the main story.
Um, yeah, these another thing about games these days is I think mechanically and skill wise required they've gotten dumber. They've lowered or they assume that gamers have lower IQs or some. I just remember games
Lower
that
cognitive skills.
taught you how to play the game by playing the
The
game.
game.
You didn't have a fucking thing that said press A
Uh,
to do this, press this
Elite
to do this.
Dangerous is pretty drop you naked in the woods kind of game. That's why I
But
like that.
but
But
it doesn't have to like drop you in the woods and make you figure it out. I'm talking about like it inserts things step by step. And there's a great video on this by a guy I like, Ego Raptor on YouTube. He talks about it, and it's he uses Mega Man and how Mega Man teaches you how to Mega Man X to be specific teaches you how to play the game by just being like you just do stuff and you learn how to play the game. It doesn't throw something at you that you aren't prepared for or that it hasn't shown you how to deal with at an earlier stage. And games today's just don't have that. Games spoon feed you everything. And I guess that it bores me. Dark Souls, it's a different thing. That game is an exception to this. It does require some skill. It does require a lot of mechanical things. And
but
it's,
yeah.
it's
Again,
frustrating as
everything we
fuck.
talk about though, there's always the exception.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, there always is. Dark Souls, though, what really plays into it, what proves it, because
Yeah.
that series is hard. Bloodborne's the same way. The satisfaction you get from beating that game
Yeah.
is fucking amazing.
Phenomenal.
You know you accomplished something because you did it.
You did it.
And you're like, yeah, that was hard. And I can't think of any other. I mean, like Skyrim. There's no fucking challenge in Skyrim. There's not.
Oblivion was more challenging than Skyrim, and Oblivion was like Morrowind light.
Fucking eating a bowl of pudding was more challenging than Skyrim. It's just oh man,
I did like the Macho Man, Macho Dragon mod. That was fucking funny. You're there about
yeah.
you're there about to get your head cut off, and then you instead of the dragon roar, you hear the "And I've seen the top of the mountain." Fucking dragon comes down with his big stupid Macho Man head.
All right, man.
That was great.
I feel
But-
like I've talked a lot this episode so far. I mean, I am fucking into it. But I know you have some stuff you want to talk about today pertaining to a game you played. I didn't because I called it. And I'm just going to shut up and let you go off.
Okay. So, game that I wasted money on that I'm very disappointed by, that was super hyped up. I let myself go along for the ride, and I accepted that I thought, I totally believed it was going to be this amazing game, and it promised all this amazing stuff, and it didn't. None of that came through, and now they're being investigated for false advertising. And yes, I'm talking about No Man's Sky. None other than fucking No Man's Sky. And they are being investigated for all of their dirty fucking lies. And here, the article that I've gotten from Forbes states that the Advertising Standards Authority, the ASA, I guess, which is a European.
It's Britain, I believe.
Yeah, is that where it is?
Yeah.
That's where they're based out of. These people are investigating into false advertising claims on No Man's Sky. So they're watching all the videos, they're going over all the interviews with the creator, all the stuff he said, all the pre-release trailer footage and comparing it to the actual game. And you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna point out some things that are just like I haven't seen a fucking brontosaurus in the game yet. I haven't seen any of the animals interacting with each other, or a giant murderous rhino, or fuck flowing water even.
There's no flowing water.
No, no, there isn't.
What?
At least I haven't seen any yet.
Okay.
Um, it's just space flight isn't what it is. You were supposed to be able to find your friends. You're supposed to be able to have multiplayer. Space battles or space flight isn't anything like what it appears to be. It's just a mess of a game. It is a mess of a game, and it is ridiculously repetitive, and it is so like copy paste with some of the things you find. I don't know. I don't know.
I
It's
so
just it's a bad. It was a totally like it was a flop. It's a fucking flop, and now they're getting fucked for it.
I have a question. So, I saw this in a preview of the game, right? The guy flies off the planet out into space, and he's flying through this like big ass battle, and he's shooting other planes, and there's space debris. Are you saying that's not in it?
It's not as it seems. Yeah.
Translation?
Translation as in it's kind of there, not really. More no than yes. Like I would say how do you compare it? Like okay, so that would look like a bouquet of roses. Picture a fucking dandelion when you actually got there.
It's
So,
like looking at a girl's Facebook picture and then seeing her in real life, and you're like,
yeah,
oh,
you're a little fatter in real life.
what's with you didn't have those teeth? Where did that
This,
come from?
where's this smell?
Smell a picture. Oh god,
There's a smell. Oh no.
you
But
get
it was bad, and now yeah, they're under investigation. As first reported by Eurogamer, the UK Advertising Standards Authority (ASA) is investigating No Man's Sky for misleading advertising. The investigation is focused on discrepancies between what is in the game and how the game is described and portrayed, and in a trailer shown on Valve's Steam website. The trailer in question, which is prominently displayed on the Steam page for the game, is the one shown to introduce No Man's Sky at E3 in 2014. The ASA responded to questions from Eurogamer by confirming they are investigating No Man's Sky's response to several complaints they received about the game. The ASA refrained from further comment because the investigation is ongoing. So yeah, that was part of the article that Forbes posted. So they're in some hot water. And I don't know. I'm sure everybody's seen the fucking trailer that's on the Steam page. That beautiful trailer
yeah.
with the brontosauruses and the murderous rhino and the badass ship and the flying out into the badass space battle.
Have I now when I read the article, and I'm not sure if you know this off the top of your head, have the developers released a statement yet? And now, because when I read it last, they hadn't said anything. They've been unable to contact them. Have they said anything?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna
I've been searching up their investigation for a few days now, and I've seen nothing on developer makes statement, company makes a statement. It's all just all these different news sites. Under investigation, ASA investigating false advertising claims. So I don't think anybody's stepped up to the plate yet.
Yeah, I don't. I'm looking right now on Google here, just kind of browsing through, clicking through.
Giving it perusing it.
I
don't see anything.
Yeah, I don't see anything either. So
just the closest thing is the makers of the video game No Man's Sky are under investigation.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, these guys have to know they fucked up. They have to. There's no way you do that and not realize that. Yeah, I fucked that one up. My bad. They got to at least apologize to the gamers. I mean, at least go out there and say, "Yeah, we screwed the pooch. Here's how we're gonna fix it for you."
Oh, here's something. According to Tech Times, No Man's Sky creator Sean Murray open to explaining what went wrong on Geoff Keighley's new YouTube gaming show. No Man's Sky was poised to be one of the biggest game releases of the year. Instead, the game disappointed the majority of the players when it released in August. More than a few players felt misled and lied to after numerous features said to be in the game were nowhere to be found in the final product. Flash forward to now, and not only does No Man's Sky sport a mostly negative user review score on Steam, but it actually is under investigation in the UK for false advertising. Hello Games and studio head Sean Murray have been silent on the backlash facing the game, though the team continues to release performance updates and have largely eliminated many of No Man's Sky's technical issues. The silence, however, may at long last be broken next month. Video game journalist Geoff Keighley reserved the last few minutes in a premiere episode of Live with YouTube Gaming for a subject of No Man's Sky, specifically what went wrong with the heavily anticipated game. Higley said he's largely been silent on the game in part because he feels like he could be to blame for some extent for its sky-high expectations.
He's a fucking developer. He was shit. You could be blamed.
Feel like you could be blamed. Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't just come out on a bunch of shows saying, "Oh yes, yes, you can do this. Yes, yes. Oh yeah, multiplayer.
It's like
yes."
Go shit on my neighbor's doorstep and be like, I feel I could be blamed for them stepping in it. I feel like that could be.
I rubbed semen on your family portrait. I feel like I could be blamed if my DNA shows up there.
Oh my god, dude,
that's fucked up. Like that actually,
that guy.
The article was going so well up until that point. Like, what the fuck?
What a turd.
So I guess he's gonna come out on this show and try to defend.
It's gonna be like in South Park. We're sorry.
We're
fucking naked on a bearskin rug. Just...
The rosy cheeks. We're sorry. And here is Sean Murray to apologize for how bad the game really was. Sorry. We're sorry. We here at Hello Games would just like to tell you that we're sorry. Sorry. Well, I guess we'll find out soon.
Well, we'll have to keep updated.
Yeah, we will.
Oh,
Whether or not Murray does appear on the show remains to be seen, but much of what Keighley discussed. So he may not even show up for the show. Imagine. Fucking. I wonder when this is gonna be. When did they? I'll look more into it. It's not. It's not. This article was posted 14 hours ago, so I know that it hasn't come out. That show hasn't come out yet.
We'll have to keep updated on it, man.
We will.
Well, good topic. Good
topic.
Feels good to get that rant out, right? You know that that anger just vent.
Dude, a lot of the ships in that game look like sports bottles, like pasted together.
Like ridiculous. A fourth grade science project.
Yeah, they're pink and white, and like not that pink's a bad color. It's just a bad shade of pink that makes it very unbelievable.
Like a salmon, like that, just unpleasant.
Not even a salmon.
Pink.
It's like a hot pink, and it looks plastic. Like the ships look plastic in those colors. In that specific shade, tint, and hue, you make your ships look plastic and like sports bottles. Anyways, yeah, moving on.
All right, so through the years, there's become some stalemates. You know, these franchises that have become, I don't know, perennial games. You're looking forward to them every year. You know one's going to come out, or every
drop
few
their
years.
balls and haven't moved them in years.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about which ones we think need to die. Just fucking die.
Stop making them.
In some of these games cases, it's not necessarily that they're bad. I think it's just that it's prohibiting these good studios from creating something new and innovative. And it's just because the corporate, CEO assholes are money grabbing fucks, and they see this cash cow and they're gonna fuck this cash cow until it stops moving, until its soul leaves its body. They're gonna drag every penny out.
Yeah. Just like TV shows that need to just fade away. There are a lot of video game franchises that need to fade away, And the
I'm
one
gonna
that's
come
on the
out
top
swinging.
of my list,
Uh,
Sonic the Hedgehog.
oh God, yeah. Okay. I think it was one of their first podcasts.
To go away.
Remember,
And Mario needs a break too. I'm sorry.
Mario does too.
Super Mario needs a break. Sonic needs to go away. I know you have some.
Oh man, Sonic for one. I remember way back when on one of our first podcasts, I talked about how I thought Sonic was one of the most overrated game ever, and it was one of the most overrated franchise.
I like the ones on Sega Genesis.
Even
But that was
some
Sega
of them were
Genesis.
bad. Sonic does need to die. He's old. Put him out of his misery. Euthanize him. That hedgehog is done. I'm not sure if you've seen some of these.
Fast enough.
I'm not sure if you've seen some of the new ones that come out where it's like this like live action Sonic almost, where you have like this really old fashion cartoon Sonic, and then you throw it in like this really cinematic cutscene where there's like cars and explosion and some like weird princess. It was really fucking bad. It was like, Sonic doesn't belong there. He's Sonic. He's not.
Sonic.
But yeah, you're right. Sonic's one. I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings, but
I think we're both gonna agree. Yeah, dude, Call of Duty needs to stop.
Stop.
Fuck
Just stop. And it's not necessarily that all of them are bad games. They're all in their own way decent games. Some of them are great. Some of them are all-time great games. But just stop. Every year you're coming out with a new one, and it's getting old. I mean, I love, those shooters. I love World War II based shooters. I love modern based shooters. But I want something new already. I want a different take. I want them to stop and just give us a new spin. Give us something different. And you can't do that because part of having like a Call of Duty or any game franchise that keeps it consistent is there's going to be these consistencies or same things that carries through a game. There's certain I don't know, iconic things about a franchise that really makes it that franchise. Like, you gotta have this to make it, like Final Fantasy, you gotta have a fucking chocobo in there. You gotta have someone named freaking Sid.
Elder Scrolls, you gotta have your that open world sandboxing kind of game.
And
at least now, ever since they made Morrowind,
is just like that. You're never going to have any progress. You're never going to have anything new if you keep bringing it up, and I think it needs to die. What other ones? What do you got?
World of Warcraft expansions. That needs to go away, and I think it already is. I think this is the last one's coming out, right?
I heard this was the last expansion. I'm not sure if it's true, but yeah, it's Blizzard. I think is smart enough to realize that they should start.
The game's gonna they should just realize that okay, we're done. Like, the game's gonna go on forever now. I can see World of Warcraft being played for the next 50 years and people still playing it. I don't know why. I think people are. It's like EverQuest 1. People are still gonna be playing it years from now. Or like even Star Wars Galaxies has managed to pull itself out of the ashes with the help of its fans, and it's not perfect, but it's getting there.
It's nowhere near perfect.
It's getting there. That's what it's getting there.
I think
I like it.
Even in some ways, and this one hurts. Even in some ways, Final Fantasy just needs to stop. To give a
no! Yeah, Square Enix already confirmed there's going to be a Final Fantasy 23. We're gonna die before that franchise.
I mean, but
that's gonna outlive us, dude.
As long as the thing that I think can keep progressing, and it has me on the fence about it, is that Final Fantasy, there's, with exception of 10 and 13, 1, 2, and 3, there is no consistency between worlds. I mean, it's not the same story. It's not the same thing. It's different.
Not the same planet either.
Yeah, it's not even the same universe almost.
But they share similarities, like the chocobos. There's always a pilot named Sid.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that it's okay, but I mean, it's still as long as you keep it fresh. I mean, I can okay.
Keep it fresh.
The Elder Scroll games I think are getting a little played out. And they need to come up with something new. Halo, I mean, a lot of these first person shooters that have been going on forever, Halo, Battlefield, they just need to
Well, the problem with Bethesda and the Elder Scrolls and the Fallout franchise is they fucking need a new engine.
Yeah, they do.
They need a new engine to play with stuff because like that open sandbox, yeah, it was fun with Morrowind and Oblivion and Fallout 3 and hell, even New Vegas. But after New Vegas, motherfucker, it was time to make a new engine. Everyone expected Skyrim to be this new sandbox game. A new feel, new look, same openness, but a brand new game mechanics, you know? Like the
It's
game,
not.
it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was the same system, same engine, just like Fallout 4. But Fallout 4 just looks really pretty.
I guess what we're saying is, if you're gonna keep making these games, at least
Keep it
shake it up.
fresh. And
So
you
I
know what?
mean,
That should
some
be
of
the
them you
name of the
can't.
episode. Keep it fucking fresh. Keep it fresh. Episode 2. Keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh. I like it.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know, man. I really wish they would change it up. I want new games. I want to love a game again.
I want to love a game again. And you know what? I love Fallout 4, but again, it's the same engine from Fallout 3 and New Vegas. So I was a little disappointed there. It's fun to
Yeah,
play though. I love it to death, but it's fun to play. But again, yeah, there hasn't been that great that game that just
yeah.
pulled me in. Like Oblivion did that for me. You know that, and Fallout 3 did that for me too.
And you brought up Sandbox, and it's we don't have time in this episode, but it's definitely is something we're gonna be talking about next episode, and that's
Sandbox games.
if Sandbox games have lost their novelty.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to comment on that, leave us a message on Twitter, Bagurgle, that Twitter, whatever, however you just fucking find Bagurgle on Twitter. Not hard to do. I believe in you, and give us something, your feedback on that. But yeah, that's gonna be next time. And I think that's all for today, guys.
Yeah, we got everything off our chest for this week.
Yeah. On a side note, and just gonna talk about it briefly. The League of Legends World Championships started yesterday, and
Yeah.
I am fucking excited. I know Bong doesn't give two shit, but I am personally excited. I am a huge fangirl.
I know
of that.
you're a huge fan of that, so go
dude,
on.
I love it. It's in San Francisco, and I'm disappointed that I didn't go this weekend. I might go next weekend to catch it. My favorite team is in it, so yeah. I'll probably talk about that next week too, or next episode too.
Joy.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love that. All right, everybody, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time.
Have a week. We'll see ya.